Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on an introduction to problem solving. The learning journey in mathematics teaches us to do many calculations involving the four main operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We need to know how to do all these calculations very well if we want to become good problem solvers. Solving problems is a very special skill, and this skill requires us to be good thinkers in order to become good problem solvers. Where do we start? As mentioned above, the starting point involves being able to do basic calculations with confidence. After that, we need to solve the problem at hand. To do that, we need to have an understanding of four basic steps in the problem-solving process. Step 1. Read the problem a few times so that you can build up a good understanding about what the problem is actually asking. Look up the meaning of any unknown words. Underline key words and phrases that give you a clue about what is required. Step 2. Pick a starting point and try it out. If that doesn't work, try another one. Step 3. Work out if you should begin with one of the four main operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication or division. And step 4. Write down the possible answer and try it out to see if it actually works. Some specific strategies. The following are specific strategies or little tricks which may be helpful depending on the nature of the problem. In other words, depending on the problem that you get, you can try to solve it in many different ways. Let's have a look at some of these ways that are available to us. The first one is guess an answer and see if it works. This is a very useful strategy or trick if the information given allows you to use this method. Once you have read the question carefully, make a clever guess based on the important information supplied. Test the answer to see if it works. Number 2. This is another approach. Create a list. If the information given allows you to write down some possible answers, then write down these answers in an organized way. You will end up with a list of possible solutions. Another way we could go is draw a table. This is a useful way to go because it can sometimes reveal useful patterns, which could lead you to the correct answer. You can then work out or work carefully through the table using any patterns that are obvious. So you can then work carefully through the table using any patterns that are obvious. The next approach is use concrete materials. Sometimes it is very useful to use some type of objects to set out the problem. This offers a useful advantage because it allows you to see what it is you are trying to solve. You could use counters, blocks, shapes, drawings, or anything else that helps you set out the problem in a simpler way. Another way is find a pattern. Different patterns occur frequently in mathematics. Numbers such as the even numbers 0, 2, 4, 6 and the square numbers 1, 4, 9, 16, etc. have an obvious pattern which defines each of them. That is, it says something special about each of them. At times we can also find patterns to do with 2D shapes and 3D objects. Look for these patterns to help you solve your problem. Another way of doing it is draw something. We often hear the expression, A picture paints 1,000 words. Many problems can be solved by drawing some type of picture to help us see what is going on. Such a picture can be very helpful for visual learners, that is, for those people who love to see something in front of them. It helps them to solve the problem a lot better. This is a very interesting little example. Work in reverse. That is another way we can solve problems. Some problems give you a number of steps which lead to a final answer. Your aim is to find what is the information which is important to the beginning of the problem. Start from the information given at the end and work backwards to find the missing information at the beginning. And the last possible approach is try to solve a simpler version. It is sometimes helpful to create a simpler version of a given problem. This may help you to work out the steps needed to solve the more difficult problem. Excuse me. So there are some ways, some little tricks you can use to solve problems depending on the type of problem, and we'll give some examples. In the videos that are going to follow, we'll give some problems where we use some of these approaches, and you can actually see how they work.